Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Here it's all about relationship and marriage, right? And I'm excited about what I'm about to share with you, which is like the title goes, excitement and adventurous living in building families. If you come across one of those families where one person is so pissed off because the other person seems so relaxed, they seem like usually is a man that is so relaxed and he feels like he can travel around the world and do everything while the woman stays in one place putting everything together. Anyway, that's a narrative that society and culture has given, but it's not always like that, especially in the African context. But I think it's a general complaint that I've heard in every aspects of life and in every part of the world, right? I took time to listen, and I realized that it's a general problem, right? Where the man, not necessarily the man, because there are women who love adventures, right? And I just feel like, and one person always feels cheated because, okay, the other person is doing their thing while the other person is living an adventure, being an adventurer. And they forgot that they got married and that they are now accountable to some people, which is the wife and the kids, or the husband and the children, right? And sometimes it's jobs that condition people to live like that. Like they don't necessarily want to be traveling up and down, but the kind of job that they do just makes them tourists worldwide, right? So I'm going to be talking about what can be done, right, to create a balance in such scenarios. I took time to put it together, right? Like um what solution, what can be done to really solve this issue. And different points I came up with is what I'm going to be sharing with you. The first thing is defining the family culture and all that you will be doing together, right? Because I think that the problem even is doesn't come because one person feels abandoned. It's because there was never a family culture that was defined from the very beginning and things that people are going to do together. So usually one person feels left out, and especially in that situation where maybe somebody's an entrepreneur and has to employ many other people, right? And then it feels like they are spending their time more with their friends or with their workers more than they spend with their family, and so it can really ache at time and people have difficulty striking the balance, right? And so I'm going to be sharing with you tips. If you're a family person, I'm going to be sharing with you tips that can really be of help. So define a family culture and all you will do together. I remember growing up, my mom was always on the road going, always on the road going. And so like I said, it's not always about, it's not an agenda issue, it's not an attack on men. I'm not doing a feminist kind of thing. I'm trying to create a balance here and to propose solutions that I believe can be benefit many families, right? So I remember my dad wanted us to do things together, but she wasn't really available, right? Because her job took so much. And so I think the issue is not always because one person is busy, like I'm saying. The issue is that there was never a family culture that was defined from the very start, right? And even if it wasn't done from the very start, it can still be done, right? Define all that you'll be doing together, because now the other person doesn't feel left out. Like your life is just changing from one swing to another, and then they feel like they can't see where they fit in actually, right? It feels like they're trying to fit into your own life, but it doesn't have to be like that. And nobody has to sacrifice what they love doing because they got married. I don't believe in that, but I believe in sacrifice. I believe in sacrifice. Depending, family comes first before any other thing, right? But I think we can manage all. To we can find a balance around the different how can I put it, the different routines and the different things we're passionate about. And so I'm going to be talking about involve everyone in planning. That's the second step. Involve everyone in the planning, including the kids, right? Involve them in the planning. And because there's something beautiful about each person feeling like, okay, they contributed to this. Because if you just decide, like, okay, I'm going to carry you along, and then you people along to wherever, if one person decides like that to carry the rest along, it will feel like it will still have the same feeling, like you're trying to fit them into your space, right? It's not the same thing. Meanwhile, family, it's something on its own. It's an entity on its own that's meant to function on its own, not that you carry it to fit inside something. No, it doesn't work that way. So everyone should be involved in the planning, including the kids. And then the next step is start small and then local as far as excitement and adventurous living is concerned, right? If you were single and you used to travel around the world, you mustn't necessarily travel around the world if you love traveling. I've discovered that we can stay in a place and then in the country even, and we've not even explored every province that is in that country, but we're curious about moving into other countries, right? Sometimes all you need to do is just that traveling mentality is just about changing environment, right? You must not take the airplane to leave from your country. Like start small so that your family can be part of it. I'm talking in terms of finances, right? Maybe you used to live alone. Now you have kids. You could afford yourself flights here and there. But now with the family, it's kind of heavy. And now everybody feels like, okay, you're doing it alone. You're enjoying alone, and they can't really see where they fit in. So what you have to do is that start small in local around the area where you are, because that's it. So that everybody can enjoy, everybody can be part of it. The fourth thing is prioritize fun over performance. It's about joy and not setting records, right? Prioritize it, make it fun. It's about enjoying, it's about creating memories with your family, right? And I realize that there's something about creating memories with families. It's something so unique, it's something so special. Like, I don't know for parents, but I know that for children, it means the whole world. Like, it means so much to sit and reflect on those things. It brings so much joy to a child, like creating childhood memories. It's just so terrible that a child will sit and an adult will sit and they can't recall any childhood memories where they had to do anything with their parents. Like, it usually creates this scarcity and this resentment about, I don't know, about, it feels like you missed out a part of your life, and it shows up in your adulthood. So you're growing a family now, and the things I'm sharing, you know deep within you that they are so important, and what I'm saying is the truth. It costs you absolutely nothing than loving your family, and if you love them, you want to see them happy. Stop making the excuses, right? So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is embrace risk and play safety, right? Like if you went out for hiking, if you went out to do some sort of sport, and you should play while taking into consideration safety methods. Right? It should not be that kind of thing where you decide to go out with the kids, like as a man, and your children come back wounded, and your wife is like, no, 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 you're never going to leave this house again, right? That's what I'm talking about. So because when we talk of adventure, we talk of moving, we talk of risk. Who speaks about adventure speaks of risk, right? Then you should measure the safety level. Don't just venture into stuff for venturing sake. You must not do it. That's why I'm presenting to you different ways today to make it fun, to create an adventurous and excitement living in your family, right? So that there are many things you have to choose from, right? It shouldn't be it shouldn't be an issue of, since I couldn't travel to Africa to go and show, it means every other thing. If I decide to do camping behind my home, then it's not really all you have to do is to decorate the space and create your own Africa at that backside for your family, right? I'm so sorry. The next thing is being present, like unplug from social media. Like if you're there with your family, be really present. Like be really present. It's so annoying. Like for somebody who like who needs, especially for women, right? Women love when they are giving attention, right? And so if she's speaking to her man, she wants the man to listen and to be attentive. I think it's the same for other men too. Like imagine talking to somebody and they're always busy, they never listen. You go through all the stuff, the stress and everything. And I think this is one of the prices that people have to pay, right? So in the midst of excitement and adventure, it's also those little moments where you can pay attention to find out what is wrong with one person, because one of the ways you easily identify that something is wrong is when you organize something like adventures and exciting, and then one person, everybody's getting along, and then that it's like a ground where you easily fish out who has an issue, right? Because they're not maybe super excited as they used to be, or they should be. Then something is seriously wrong, right? And especially that if in the beginning you took into consideration the fact that you needed to make them part of the planning and everything, and then at one given point they're not really. I think for instance, camping is something that is so beautiful, right? Like if you decide to camp, put a tent maybe for you, your wife, and put another one for the kids, it's beautiful, right? Like you don't sit in the inside the house. You decide to do a camp. I don't know. It must not be necessarily in your house, but you find an area to camp. You see, and during those moments, there are moments that brings families together, and where they get to kick off from the normal usual routines and everything that they do to make sure the bills are paid, right? And so the next thing I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to be giving some ideas, right? And I already started talking about it, which is camping. The next one is hiking, biking, right? It can be these nature scavengers hunt, like hunting maybe a rare stone or metal, a kind of leaf, right? You go out with your kids, just make it fun. It can be water activities, it could be family game night, movies, and stuff like that. Just setting up the cinema together and putting up the cinema in the house together. It could be cooking together. I remember this family that used to watch movies together. I stayed with them for a while, and each time they would sit to watch movies together as a family, the kids were the most, they were so happy. They were so excited, like to have their parents home watch a movie with them. It was something that meant so much to them. And like I said, the first beneficiaries of all these are kids because you create beautiful memories with them and memories that these are things that no amount of money can buy. Like, no amount of money can buy these kind of memories. They are very, very beautiful memories. And so, if this video was of help to you, tell me which of them you intend to implement, or maybe as I was sharing, the other ideas that came to your mind. So, which of them are you going to apply practically? Which of them are you going to take into consideration? Maybe this is something that while I was speaking, you had it in mind, but you're not yet at that phase where you're intentional and intend to really put it into practice. I want to know. Just share with us. We'll be excited. Share with us what you intend to do. So I hope this video blesses your family, and see you next time. Bye bye.